Hey there everybody, in this video I'm going to talk to you about thoracic spine mobility, what it is, why it's important, and how you can get it. So let's start with what it is. Thoracic spine is simply the area of your mid-back in between your shoulder blades, right about here. Now because of the postures that we find ourselves in and the lack of movement that a lot of us have, always texting on computers, sitting at couches and chairs, we slowly over the years develop this posture where we get rounded in the mid-back. When we get rounded in the mid-back, the shoulders start to come forward and the head starts to come forward. Now I am really exaggerating this posture to give you an idea. Most people aren't walking around quite this bad or this exaggerated, but I think you can get the idea of what happens. This can be a cause of neck pain, obviously, because as everything goes forward here and the head comes out, puts a tremendous amount of pressure in the neck. You're constantly fighting gravity to hold the neck up. So an important fix is to mobilize your mid-back, your thoracic spine. And it looks something like this. As you do it, you can come up through the mid-back and the shoulders naturally start to come back. Watch the head as well. As I mobilize and get up through that, the head naturally comes back. So it's this posture here, thoracic spine extends and shoulders come back and the head comes back. Now, of course, there are some additional exercises for some neck stability that you can do, but the first part is to mobilize that thoracic spine. Additionally, with people with chronic low back pain, especially related to an unstable core, they don't have good core stability, they're hypermobile in the lumbar spine, in that low back, they've got too much movement, they get wear and tear. So they need to exercise the core, obviously. But the other thing is that mid-back gets really stiff and really tight. So getting that mobility through the mid-back is an important thing. So let's get to it. Let's give you a few ideas of how you can get that mobility. All right, so I've got three options. Two involve a foam roller like this here, and then I've got another stretch that I can show you to get some rotation through the thoracic spine. Foam roller is on the floor, and option number one, watch my hips, my pelvis. They're up. I get them off the floor and I am going to reach around, grab my shoulder blades. My elbows are really close together. They're almost overlapping. A lot of people do this where they don't hug themselves deep enough. Look at the elbows here. Their hands are on their shoulders here. You really want to get deep, deep, elbows overlapping, hips come up, and you can just roll. Hips are up because you're rolling. With this one, some people might feel some cracks and pops. This is a way a lot of people will self-adjust or self-manipulate their thoracic spine. Option number two, I like to do both of these. I start off with that one. If anything needs to mobilize on its own, I'll get it there. Option number two, this time I'll keep the hips down. So now my pelvis is on the floor. The foam roller is under my thoracic spine, especially in the points where I felt it was the most restricted or the most tight. And this time I reach back and just fall backwards. I will really reach my arms. Sometimes I'll go side to side and fall backwards. I might move up or down a little bit, find the tight spots for you. But again, this is going to help get you more upright through your mid-back, which means your shoulders are going to come back, your neck's going to come back, everything's going to be aligned properly in that thoracic spine. And option number three, I will kneel on the floor, bring my arm, and I cradle my knee right here with my hand. So I've really got my forearm going across both knees. What I'm trying to do is sit back on my heels so that my lumbar spine stays pretty flat, stays straight, so I can limit the rotation through the low back and get most of it through the mid-back. So what I'm going to do here is just slowly start to come up, look up at my hand, breathe, relax, always trying to bring that shoulder blade back. I'll show you on the other side here. We're going to come up, really bringing that shoulder blade back, trying to feel the stretch through the mid-back. So those are your three options. I hope you enjoy. As always, leave comments, and I've got all of our contact information in the links below. Thanks a lot.